Martin Popoff from the Contrarians here, back again with another edition of Reliving Old Reviews as a useless tool of confusion. This is the show where we look at an old album, a band that became legendary, an album that became legendary that gets talked about for years and years and years. But what did they say, boots on the ground, about this album? This one I'm really looking forward to. I have not seen this review yet. I'm going in cold like I usually do. This, I'm pretty sure I maybe never even read this review or just read it when it first came out in Kerrang. And by the way, I want to thank Chris Jackson for sending in these reviews. So here we go. This is a review of VENOM Welcome to Hell, 1982 in Kerrang. So this is early days of Kerrang. And this is by Dante Benuto. Wow, I've never said his name live before. I've read it a million times. Of course, he's a well-known, important part of all this early heavy metal talk. Okay, so here we go. The link between HM, I hate when they call it HM. They do that all the time in Kerrang, right? The link between HM and the forces of darkness is sufficiently well established to be almost traditional. Artistes like Sabbath, Alice Cooper, and BOC have built their reputation on satanic soundtracks, and with Welcome to Hell, their debut LP, Newcastle-based VENOM both continue the tradition and take it a whole step further. So he sets the stage. It's funny, kind of a bit problematic, but I know what he's getting at, and he knows his stuff anyways. But Alice Cooper, Sabbath, and BOC. Sabbath can be actually a little properly satanic. BOC less so, and Alice Cooper even less so. So he's getting at darkness, horror, all that sort of stuff, of course. But so these aren't really the best examples of this. There aren't a lot of examples. There's Coven and Black Widow and what I think a Monument and a few other things, right? But there's not a lot of history. I remember getting this record, and this was really satanic as hell. This was a scary, spooky sort of album to be getting. We're talking late period, or at least mid-period, new wave of British heavy metal. They're coming out. It's going to be a different sound. Let's see what he says about it here. But this was about as over the top satanic as you can imagine. We are talking about VENOM's debut album here, by the way, right? Welcome to Hell. They are kind of late arriving on the scene, although there's some singles and stuff before. But then Black Metal is the next one, and that's kind of considered a better album. This is a little bit scrappier. They're both very scrappy. But anyways, let's continue on. There's nothing false or flippant here. Kronos, Mantis, and Abaddon, the constituents of this three-man coven, approach their subject with discipular sincerity. Never seen that word before. A 10-track blast of heretical halitosis. Oh, that's excellent, because that's kind of what it sounds like, right? WTH forcefully questions the comforting Christian notion that good ultimately triumphs over evil. In the world invoked by VENOM, virgins get the sacrificial chop, bodies are invariably headless or at least limbless, teeth are ground with Black and Decker fury, and Satan always wins. It's an excellent setup of the artistic oeuvre, the aesthetic, the lyrics that go on here. But I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned the music yet, because the music is very remarkably different. And I'll describe that a little more, hopefully based on his description. Let's see what he says here. No golden cross of heaven or ancient key of kings could save the world of sinners when the midnight Sabbath rings. 1,000 Days of Sodom. Although semi-pro at present, the band are destined for notoriety. They make pronouncements like the above, grimace, wield axes, real ones, clench fists, poking from studded leather, and split their legs dramatically at the first sight of a lens. That's pretty cool. They were very photogenic, VENOM, right? They looked great, and they had all the props. That's pretty cool. But then no one's perfect, and for the most part, their total unabashed commitment to the pagan principle pulls them through. It's only when they turn their attention to the pleasures of the flesh, i.e. women, that an obnoxious streak becomes evident. I got you down beneath me, open wide, ha-ha, I'm going to make you pay for all the times you've cheated and lied. Poison. Wow. So we are 2/3 through the interview, and he hasn't mentioned the very, very strange music on this album yet. Pretty interesting. Lapses of this sort accepted, however, it's good diabolical stuff, brim brimful of belligerence and anarchic energy. Guitars either fight and growl in the depths of the mix or flash siren-like from the speakers, while lyrics are spat out like mouthfuls of shrapnel. Okay, so there's a good description of what's going on. I've often talked about Motorhead as being the first album ever recorded badly on purpose. And then I think Motorhead still records badly on purpose on the 3-ish records leading up to Welcome to Hell. And then Venom raise the ante, because Motorhead starts recording a little better, but Venom is even more extremely recorded badly on purpose than Motorhead is. So Venom's debut really is part of this. So yeah, I like that. Guitars either fight or growl in the depths of the mix or flash siren-like from the speakers. I don't think there's much flashing going on here. It's all pretty muddy, right? And lyrics spat out like mouthfuls of shrapnel. That's a perfect description by Dante of because this is really, again, to bring up Motorhead, I mean, this is the origins of the black metal / death metal vocal style. It kind of starts with Lemmy. I mean, there's a long history, right? Paul McCartney even is part of that history. But Kronos really raises the stakes, and you've pretty much with Kronos on Welcome to Hell got a bona fide, pretty darn close to 58% of a death metal vocal and 58% of a black metal vocal. And actually, come to think of it, you've got 58% of a thrash vocal as well here. So he's really hitting all the bases here in raising the ante on the vocals. But of course, Dante's description doesn't know any of that because none of that has happened yet, right? So very accurately, lyrics are spat out like mouthfuls of shrapnel. Particularly effective are In League with Satan with its funereal riff and threatening hook, and the title track itself, where over the usual cloven-hoofed cacophony of a solitary female voice broke through. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me in green pastures to lie. Before being swamped by drummer Abaddon's well-aimed nuclear warheads. And so it proceeds, an unrelenting orgy of original sin. Grab hold of your garlic and don't let go, because Venom don't just want bodies, they want souls. So yeah, there's not a lot about how, there's nothing really about the production other than slight allusions. But a great review, an entertaining review. Kerrang often had very, very entertaining writing, and I think this is good, flashy writing. It's not a particularly long review. It's fairly long, but he does a great job here. But it's interesting how, it makes sense because this is a remarkable lyrical and aesthetic brand new experience, but it is also that what I just said when it comes to the music, and he doesn't really talk about the music much, and really, like I say, the production is a really remarkable thing about this, and he doesn't really talk about it. It's funny, on the same stage or on the same page, the next review is Loverboys Get Lucky, and I don't have it here. It just starts off all it says is straight to the point, the second. So there's some bad page layout there where they literally get one line of the Loverboy review on this page. But yeah, Venom followed by Loverboy Get Lucky. So there you go. Reliving old reviews is a useless tool of confusion. That which is a quote from Phil Anselmo. And of course, Phil was a big Venom fan, right? Pantera owes some of what they do to Venom as well. So yeah, please like, subscribe. We want to get our subscriber numbers up, of course. But yeah, I always forget to hit like. You join our Patreon, for a very minimal amount per month. You can be part of our panels, and we do these great panels on albums. Haven't done one for a little while, actually. But we have panels on different subjects, and they're all filling up for the month that we're in, which is December 2024 as I speak. But yeah, let me know what you think of this review and Venom Welcome to Hell in general, and my review of Dante's great review. Thanks very much.